Hey everyone, Dennis from J&D Nature Images. So glad you can tune in. If you subscribe, please subscribe. If you like things, like this thing. Today I'm going back a little bit. Last year, my son took me on a phenomenal trip to Alaska. I mean, we only spent a few days in Fairbanks and a few days in Delta Junction. From Fairbanks, actually, we stayed at the North Pole, where Santa Claus is. So, for all the little boys and girls out there, yes, Santa is at the North Pole. It was phenomenal. We took 2 days down to Denali, 2 days down to Delta Junction. We explored an Alaskan treasure that had somewhat has collapsed a little bit, quite a bit from what I see. July of the same year. It's called Castner's Glacial Cave, which is just absolutely one of the most dramatic things I've ever seen in nature. And it was a great hike, just me and my son. We followed one set of old footprints to get there. It was about, I guess it's like a mile and a half, mile and a quarter in, mile and a half, mile and a quarter out, something like that. But it was an adventure to find it. We actually went down there one day to where we thought it was. We couldn't find how to get there. So the next day, the last day that we were there together, as we split Denali in two, we went there, Denali, Delta Junction for some Caribiou. Woohoo! On the tundra. So excited. That was like an absolute moment that I never thought I would experience in life. Walking on the tundra with Caribiou, finding a carcass, with wolf scat all around it. The carcass was totally stripped clean, but on the tundra it was just frozen scat. So I did not see any wolves or bears, but the moose and the caribou filled every dream I could possibly have in such a short period of time. So without further ado, we're going to go into some photos, and hopefully you enjoy this little trip and at a few places, especially at Castner's Glacial Cave. Oh my gosh, that was something that I just never thought existed. Well, our trip started, this is in Fairbanks. This is Creamer's Field, I believe it's called. This is the first week of May. Nice group of sandhill cranes were in here. Really could spend so much time with these birds. They were so active. Such beautiful tall birds. They really are. I know there's some great migration routes, in the Midwest and stuff. Here, where I live in New England, we only have a few sandhill cranes that are in the state of Massachusetts, but hopefully their numbers will continue to grow. But certainly a bird I would love to enjoy and spend more time with. The wingspan just absolutely spectacular. It was just so much fun to watch these birds coming down, landing in the field. I mean, a lot of the landing, unfortunately, was too far away. There's nothing I like more than capturing birds, large birds, certainly, landing. Love my egrets and my great blues and stuff when I'm able to capture that sort of thing. Here we get the courtship routine going. This was like a shocker to me. I was not ready to see this at all. I mean, I wasn't even expecting to see a sandhill crane, believe it or not. So I wasn't on my list of Alaskan things to look for. I mean, I had 4 days to pack in, but I was certainly, when I learned about these sandhill cranes, I quickly took advantage of getting these photos here. This is just great action. It was just a great place to view them. And a lot of friendly people around there too in Fairbanks. So was not disappointed with the time, and respectful to the animals over there. They're very respectful with these cranes. Nobody encroached more than the barriers were put up, and that are there, and just some great activity on them chasing around each other. One of these cranes will have a band on it. You'll get to see that later. If anybody knows that number, they might want to right there show it to Fish and Wildlife. Say, hey, this female. She's definitely a female, because I can tell. It's not easy to tell, but I can tell. There's certain ways that I'm pretty sure she was the female. Very, look at them wingspan. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's really a treasure. Alaska is really a treasure. I only had really like 4 full days there, and I got to tell you, I've been lucky enough on this planet. I've been East Africa way back in the 90s. Costa Rica, Belize, to do little trips here and there with loved ones, and certainly this one with my son. Wow. Also, when out west of Colorado and Utah with my other son, the fall before that. So certainly, I've been blessed with the people who I've got to share some of these great things with, and just my eyes of what I got to see. I mean, first day in Alaska, I would not think I'd be watching sandhills cranes mate. That I would not think. So this was great because I've never got a northern pintail here in my part of Massachusetts. So to see a northern pintail, that was a really nice duck to get, and very beautiful. I love their heads. Their heads are just so sleek, and that bill's so sleek along with the pintail. I mean, it's just a really nice bird, and every time I see something for the first time, it's just like, wow to me. Wow, it's really is. I mean, I do not a lot of ducks, but certainly in wintertime here in New England, ducks are more prevalent in what you do to go out and photograph them and stuff. There's the rain coming down. Unfortunately, we did get rain. I mean, I got rain on the last day. I was going to go back to Delta Junction that evening as I dropped my son off. He was with a friend of his that was in the Air Force. He's in the Air Force too, and so they were going out for the night, and I was hoping to go, since it stayed out light till 11:30 at night. Certainly, I was hoping to stay out here. There's some good. Talk about the light like this. This is a trumpet of swan, also a first for me. Very cool to see. The light was, you could shoot in some low light. That was just really nice. This I'm still trying to figure what the red reflection is on water here. When I looked at these photos, I don't remember anything red reflecting off the water. But hey, who knows? I'll take it. It's very nice to see. My first trumpet of swans. Anyhow, a magpie, which I also saw in Colorado and Utah. We don't get them this side of the Rockies where I live, so I think they're a beautiful bird. I really do. I mean, they got beautiful long tail feathers. The crow, they're in the crow family, so they're very intelligent birds, I'm assuming, and I really enjoyed an opportunity to see one. Yeah, for sure. That was in Denali, and here's a willow ptarmigan. That's the male. This is in Denali National Park. Denali was, now you can only drive so far up the road. Like in May, you're allowed to go a lot further before the season starts. But they also had an avalanche, and part of the road is gone, and you can't drive the full 86 miles even in the bus. They don't let you do it. So I was very lucky to what I got to witness in Denali. Denali, the vistas from the, I guess, I don't know exactly if it was 32 miles or whatever we were able to drive up to, but oh my goodness gracious, that just, wow. It's just a wow. And I wish I was a landscape photographer, because I'd be sharing a lot more of the beauty of that. But I don't think, even when I get my photos back, that's the female ptarmigan, by the way, when I get my photos back from Alaska, when I did them with landscape shots I did take, it just doesn't do the land justice. It is just overwhelming, and I have not been that overwhelmed since being on the Masai Mara in Kenya. Just like, it was just a very significant, absolutely powerful place to be. A couple of ground squirrels as we're getting into some of the mammals now. This was actually to the walk to Castner's cabin, which was just Glacial Cave. It is just Castner's Glacial Cave. I'll get that out. Don't worry. Tongue gets stuck a lot. It's my birth defect, so you just gotta bear with me on that. But this is absolutely was so great. Now we're back in the Denali. You can see there's a moose up top left, and then another moose down. There was actually like 11 moose in this hillside plateau. All of them massive cows. And for me, you know, I'm very used to photographing moose up in Umbagog National Wildlife Refuge in New Hampshire. To see the size of these moose absolutely blew me away, because up here in New Hampshire and Maine, they pretty much look like donkeys compared to them. I mean, these things are giants. These are just the largest member of the deer family, and overwhelmed with this. I love this one. The guy's nose up, you know, just eating the needles of the. I don't know if he's eating the conifer there or the plant behind it. If he's stripping some bark, probably the plant behind him stripping some bark. My eyesight is horrendous at times, so it's now look at the deep snow here. I mean, it's amazing. An animal can stay in this condition, deep snow. Now this is the first week of May, so we're just coming into where the light really extends like lengthy. But remember, these animals are living out there in their 24 hours of darkness for a great stretch of the time. I think it's like 70-some days where the sun barely, you know, blinks on the horizon. Look at the back leg plundered in there. So such a massive animal, and man, to be able to plow through. There was heavy snow, according to some of the people I've talked to. That was more heavier in Denali than regular. This is actually one of the few bulls I saw, and this was down towards Delta Junction. Another phenomenal area where it goes into tundra. Oh God, I can't tell you. This is the area that I just fell in love with. I really fell in love with. Unfortunately, I was going to spend my last 7-8 hours there, and the rain and sleet and hail just came, and being alone on Alaskan roadway when the weather gets bad, and a 2.5-hour drive back to the North Pole from where I was spotting these animals, I felt it best to take what Alaska gave me and have the memories to look forward to. It's just the landscape, the amount of moose were throughout, everywhere. We're driving to Denali, driving to Delta Junction area, in North Pole, saw one. It's just wow. I hope they don't end up with the problems that we have with warming of the weather, ticks getting into them, and their moose population declining like we have here in the Northeast. That's for sure. Here's one trotting along the snow. This is actually towards the Alaska pipeline. This moose might actually been under the Alaska pipeline, because that's all part of that trek down there. I would love to see when the rivers were flowing here. We were just, the first week of May, like I said, we were at the brink of not really winter, not really summer. They really only have 2 seasons, so it was here's one running along the side of the road. Not the animal you want to see running alongside of your car. My son Noah was driving, so I was not driving and taking the photo, but certainly I don't pass up an opportunity to get a moose. And this is one, you see its back is soaked. Heavy rain. I was just waiting, hoping. You know, your last day, you don't care with them. You know, it is what it is. This is my last moose that I saw on the trip, and it may not have been the most spectacular one, but it was certainly one in any elements. And you love. That's the part we don't understand. We see animals on nice days when we go out and photograph most of the time like that, but these animals are 24/7 in the environment. And this is the second day at Denali, one way up on the hillside there in the middle there. Oh my gosh, that landscape is just something to die for. I mean, I don't know what it looks like when the snow's all gone, but when the snow is there, it is a winter wonderland. It is just so magnificent. Look how thick these cows are. And they are, all of them were probably maybe a week or 2 away from giving birth. So I can't imagine, if I was lucky enough to be able to stay there for the whole month of May, what I would get. Photograph wise, what I would get, just that would enrich me as a human being, because, and this is the honest highlight of my trip, other than the place that will be last on this, is seeing caribou in the wild. Oh my goodness, caribou are just, yeah, it's one of the dream animals I thought I'd never see. I never thought I'd make a venture to a trip up north, and if I did go to Alaska, I'm saying, oh, I'll probably, would hope to see the bears, and stuff. But I didn't think of interior. I know there are some caribou at Denali and stuff, but I did not think to be in the interior Alaska like Delta Junction and be able to see on foot too. When you're on foot and in a world that's just no buildings, no wires, no nothing around you, once you get off the road, it is just, it's one of the magical places, it really is. It's I gotta say, like the great Jane Goodall said, I am happiest when I'm alone in nature. But this time I was with my son, who was, I think he was just as happy as me. Certainly a little more skittish and shy, especially when we came across a carcass with all the wolf droppings. But look at the caribou, though, huh? Absolutely a dream animal. A dream animal, that's for sure, to me. Did not think that I would get that one on my list. And I mean, I've been to Africa, so I've had a lot of dream animals in my life, and everyone's the best, and everyone is, man, everyone I love. So it's just, but this is truly was a spectacular. Look at these. I would like to, revisit this area if I'm fortunate enough again to revisit this area. Though I know there's so many other places in Alaska. It's such an immense area, and the different area I would love to explore. This is the highlight. Castner's Glacial Cave. This was like, I mean, me, my son, when we actually entered the cave, and actually the credit goes to my son. These are his pictures, for the most part. I think they're all his. Maybe one, I might have thrown one of mine's in here, but he was the one who learned about this from the local Alaskans, because his friend was staying in Fairbanks at the base. About 8,000 Alaskans visit us every year, they say, but once you get inside, it is just absolutely amazing. And wow. You can look in this the glass wall, the ice wall, like every foot, and just see stuff. It's soil, sand, the colors. It's just, you just can't understand it unless you're in it. But it goes well in and way down, and he did a little panoramic there, coming out. And this actually, the front of this had a collapse. And if you go online and you look July 2022, we were there in May 2022. I don't know what the condition is inside today, if you can actually get to the inside. But this was really one of the greatest memories of my life. I mean, this is, it's spectacular. Yeah, he did it with his cell phone. I'm trying to capture some of the blue with my regular lens, because there is like a blue turquoise in the ice. It's just insane. And that's him all the way in the back. So that shows how giant. And this ugly guy in the front is me. So this is me at the front, and I just got to thank my son for suggesting the place. I'm thinking that he could handle and go on the hike and do the walk with me. And certainly I hope you all like this. If you like it, give me a big like. If you subscribe to the channel, you're going to get to see some great stuff along the way. I'm a naturalist who carries a